in the continuing saga of the drawers, thought I could, salvage the bottom drawers that I made. Figuring I could work with it since they were a little bit bigger. Pocket screws seemed to be okay. Was able to clamp the split closed, put some glue in it. But then I did something kind of silly. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I didn't put the drawer slides into the cabinet before I built the drawer. The drawer slides were the same. The cabinet was made out of the same material as the other drawer that I made, so I cut all the parts the same. Well, plywood I'm using is pre-finished plywood, different than what I had made the other drawer out of. Turns out this drawer is this material is just a little bit thicker. So that screwed up everything on the dimensions. Well, then I decided I was going to scrap the drawers. I was like, nah, I can fix them. You can't really fix it, it's too wide. I would have to cut material off. And then I got an idea that I could put a dado in the side. Like that. So I did that. Take off just enough to fit the drawer slide. But that's not sitting with me very well either. I'd open up those drawers and every time I'd look at the drawer, I'd be like, oh, I messed that up. Yeah, that looks ugly. So it's like I decided that I'm going to remake those drawers too. I'm going to remake them. I even had my cut list and everything. Had my drawing and my cut list and everything was good. But yeah, this is just not sitting right with me. I'm just going to have to remake those drawers too. To be continued. Oh, got the drawer slides that I have mounted up in there. It's only 6 pairs. Got my story stick. Things look pretty good there. I need to get 4 more pairs of slides. Finish that up, start building drawers. Getting things set up here for the dados to cut in the sides of the drawers using my Nitra setup blocks, Neitra. I'll have a link for those down in the description. I really like these setup blocks. Glad I got a set of those. Beats the heck out of the little brass gauges that I had before that would go over the top of the blade. It was just kind of a pain in the butt. But I really like these setup blocks. They're really good. They're really accurate. Nice little case for them. Now we're getting ready here, cutting the dados in the bottoms for the bottom in the drawer sides with my 1/4 inch dado stack. Checking it out. Looks good to me. And then we'll keep going and run the rest of them. There it is, breaking out my
Delta 13-inch planer. This is a unit that I got when they first released these planers. And everybody's moving from, 12 and a half to, oh my gosh, 12 and a half is not big enough. What do we need? Oh, 13. So that's what they got, 13-inch. So I just decided to pull it out. I'm going to do some testing on trying to get my drawers to fit. Drawer saga continues, but I got to plane down a couple pieces to just under half-inch so I can get these drawers to fit right. But this is the planer. I decided to blow it off. Who knows how long that sawdust has been in my planer? Probably 5-10 years, easy. But there's the cutter head. I've never flipped those blades, so I'm going to flip those blades right now. Let's start out fresh. But I've always liked this planer. I need to wax the beds because they're like really sticky. But that's the planer for now. The first fire up of the Delta 13-inch planer in 10 years maybe. Just got done doing the changing the blades, lubed it up a bit, and we'll see how this goes. Poplar board through and see what happens. So working on the final drawer, I'm putting these runners that I milled up. They're just poplar. I planed them down in order to get these drawers to work that I cut. I didn't want to waste the material since I've already, recut these drawers twice, and so it would have pushed it into a third time, and I would have had to buy more 1/4-inch bottom in order to accommodate for my mistake by not putting in the drawer slides over there. So I came up with this. I'll just attach these to the sides of this, attach the drawer slides to that, then they fit in my drawer box and my cabinet box over here really well. Like I mentioned, more than likely I'll probably end up rebuilding these at some point. I still, it's gonna eat me alive to have these things on here, and I know it's a mistake, and I have to go back and I have to figure out where I went wrong. But for now, I'll just take care of the drawers to get them in there, get out of these boxes, but this is how I was doing that. I made this spacer so that I could just put that under there. It'll have every drawer slide is in the same spot, so it keeps the drawers apart correctly. But yeah, I made that spacer so it'll fit these drawers, make my life a little easier. Then I'll just use some 3/4 inch square drive Robertson screws. Got these a long time ago at McFeely's. Then that'll be on there. It'll be all right for now, for temporary. Work around, do the same thing on the other side. Now I should just be able to take this and pop this in here. Get it seated. Get this drawer out. And there we go.
Attaching the drawer fronts now, use some X-Fasten double stick tape to get them located, some spring clamps, then just drilled some holes and screwed it in from the backside. I didn't show attaching the handles, but I made a little jig for that and was able to get those all nicely lined up, as you'll see in the next scene here.
There we go. Drawers are done. They're drawers. Now maybe I can get some of that stuff over there out of those boxes in those drawers. They work fairly well. They'll do what I need them to do, even though there's a lot of challenges with them. The runners and stuff, but like I said, this is one of those things where I'm glad I'm making these mistakes now while I'm out here in the shop, instead of making all these mistakes with more expensive wood inside. But I got those done. Learning experience, definitely. Learned a lot on them. Take my time, make sure my measurements. Maybe I need to learn SketchUp, but I'm kind of old school. I still like drawing things on a piece of paper. But with SketchUp, there's an advantage. Like I could
make cut lists and whatnot out of SketchUp. I still can with hand drawings, but then I have to break down the parts and make sure I'm, measuring parts right and that kind of stuff. And I think that's a little bit of what I ran into with this, is where I thought I had parts right, but I didn't have parts right. It was definitely a good experience. It's what you get out of it. Instead of beating myself up for it like I probably would. That's what I have to look at it as, is a learning experience. It'll work for now. I'll get moving and get rolling on some other projects. Meanwhile, everybody, have a happy new year and see you in 2024. Bye. And there's Mia with her orca. Hi, Mia. Get your orca.